Welcome. I'm Bonnie Simon. This is the Bonnie Simon Says channel where we talk about whatever I want to talk about, but usually what I want to talk about is how to make a life that you love, how to make a living the way you want to live, which is the tagline on one of my websites, so I think it's easy to remember. Anyway, have you ever heard this saying? Do what you love and the money will come. Is it true? Is it true? I remember hearing a story one time about somebody who heard that phrase, but what they loved was to make violins. They love to make violins. Can you make money making violins? Well, frankly, I have no idea, but my guess would be that if you know how to sell violins as well as make violins, you probably can make money at it, and maybe this person was really good at making violins and really good at selling them and they made a fortune. Or maybe the nature of their personality was that they wanted to stay in their studio, in their workshop, just making the violins and not making any friends, which would make it difficult to not only sell the violins, but also to find somebody else to help them sell the violins. We need meaning in our work, which if you know what you love, it's easier to find meaning. But you want to consider too, we also need money. Money is required to do a lot of things that we like to do, including follow our other interests that don't make us money. So you want to consider what has meaning for you, what are you interested in, and what makes money. Now, it may be that, like my story about the person with the violin, it may be that you are able to make something or you're able to follow a passion and sell it. That's a lot of the work that I've done in the last 10 years is learning how to sell those things, because frankly, if you can sell your work, whether that means selling yourself for a job opening or selling a product or selling a thing that you've made or selling a service, any of those things, if you can sell anything, then you have a much better chance of making it work for yourself. So what I want to talk about today is something from my dad's book. So my dad is Dr. Stephen Simon, and he wrote a book called, hold on, it has a long name. Relaunch, it's called, wait, he told me, I have to say it in an exciting way. Relaunch, Stagnation, Change, and Renewal in Mid-Career and Beyond. So the book is about how to find the best kind of work for you, especially if you're trying to change careers in midlife, which people often do. And I wanted to tell you about one of the chapters that talks about interest, that very question of if you do what you love, how do you make the money come? It doesn't just come naturally, unless you're just really lucky and you're just naturally good at all of these things. So if you are thinking about changing careers, or maybe even if you're just thinking about what career to start with, these are some things that you should consider. The way that you're going to do this is that you've got to figure out what your skills are, what your interests are, and what your best work environment is. Now that's important. I know it's important in my life because I went from working in a corporate environment, which was, well, okay, but not really for a person who had spent her entire childhood saying that I was never going to work in an office and I was going to ride horses to work because I would never drive a car. Maybe that wasn't going to work because horses are really scared of cars. But anyway, my point is that knowing the kind of work environment that you like is going to make a difference in how satisfied you are in your job. So think about these things. These things, oh, they're over here behind me near the birds because I like birds. So what do you enjoy? You want to make a list of what you enjoy, what kinds of things, what kinds of interests you have, and don't leave any out. Like if you, I don't know, like if you love something that you think has nothing to do with, like maybe you love to build chicken coops, or maybe you're like me and you just like to play with the chickens. I have chickens in my backyard and playing with them is one of the great pleasures of my life because chickens are hilarious. If you like something like that, put it on the list, as well as the usual sorts of things like, I really enjoy computers, or, the things that you might think are marketable. Put them on the list. Next, like that one was easy. This next one is a little bit different, and maybe you've never heard of this kind of thing, but take an interest inventory. And in the book, my dad talks about, there's one called The Self-Directed Search by John Holland. And it's a good tool for finding out like what kinds of, you want to know like what kind of personality you have and what kinds of personalities people in different industries have. So I remember taking one of these tests, And I have a weird personality, so I was always a good test case for my dad, who's the career expert. And I took one, and my interests tend to range all the way from riding horses to sitting in front of the computer. So talking to people, I have sort of the different parts of my personality are opposed, so I have a lot of interest, and it's really hard to narrow these things down. But for most people, you can find out from these tests, like, I like computers. Do I think I would like working in a place where, would I like working as a programmer? And it goes, what they've done is they've gone through and asked programmers what they're interested in, and they're going to kind of match you up. They're going to match up your personality type and your interests with that kind of industry. So I guess we're kind of getting a little bit out of order, but you need to know about yourself in order to know what you're going to find interesting, what's going to be a meaningful job for you. Then you want to match your interests with your skills. So you've made this list of interests, and if you read the book, then presumably you have also done a list of skills, and you've ranked them according to the ones that you're best at. So you've got this list of skills, and you've got this list of interests, and so you want to match up. I'm really good at programming computers, so I'm also interested in the way that computers work, so maybe you'd be a good computer engineer, something like that. If you can match those things up, then that's going to give you two pieces of the meaningful work puzzle, and not just the one, not just the interest. Because obviously, if you're interested in something, like I'm interested in how light bulbs work, but I have no idea how they work. And if I went into an engineering job, they would never hire me because I don't have any of the skills that you need in order to be an engineer on light bulbs. Anyway, once you've done that, then you need to find out what kind of industries you're interested in. And this is the work environment piece. You're going to make sure that the kind of industry, like if you're the kind of person, like I spoke to somebody last week who said that she's pharmacy tech, and she doesn't believe in pharmaceuticals. It's a very difficult thing for her to go to work every day. She likes the people, and she likes the detail-oriented nature of the work, but it doesn't feel right to her. It doesn't feel moral to her. You want to avoid that. So make sure that you're thinking about the industries that you're comfortable with and the industries that you're interested in. All right, that's what I had to say today. So as I said, this is the Bonnie Simon Says channel. You can also go to bonnieSimonSays.com if you're interested in business. If you're interested in chickens, go to hungrychickenhomestead.com, and I will put the name of my dad's book below so that you can click on it and find the book itself if you'd like to read the whole thing, because he's the expert. I'm just the generalist. If you're here, then go ahead and click on the subscribe button, and we will talk more about whatever it is I want to talk about. All right, have a good day.